I've slept outside before during my days of Uber, just hustling. Most Uber driver understands this. Sometimes you take people to far places, you won't even be able to drive back home. Even if anyone had told me that I'll be where I am today, 4 years, 5 years ago, I would have denied.
This is the story of a Nigerian that actually typifies the spirit that it is possible to still become someone in this country. I know a lot of people have actually lost hope in the country. People are jackpying, excuse my French, every day because Nigeria has happened to them. But then when you say Nigeria happened to you, it is not always bad that happens to you. This is one Nigerian who would say Nigeria happened to him in the positive light. Welcome with me to the show this afternoon, the founder of OJB Declutter. We call him OJB, but his full name is Ojabanjo Usman. Usman, it's a pleasure.
Thank you very
You
much.
are the CEO actually.
I am not, I just tell you.
Okay,
Don't call me
so
CEO.
who are you if you're not a CEO?
Okay, just call me employer of labor.
It's an employer of labor. See, it's a story of from broke to boss. How one single resolution, made him become an employer of labor. But let's start with the backstory. One day like that, I got a call from him. Hey, can you help me design a logo? And that logo is the logo of his company till today, OJB Declutter. 3 years down the line, and still counting. This is a company winning award upon award, and this is a man winning all the laurels, all the accolades that a young man can win. Usman, tell us what actually led to OJB Declutter.
Hey, my name is Ojabanjo Usman, the founder of OJB Declutter. So you asked that what led to OJB
Yes.
Declutter. You know me before. Buying and selling has been part of me. Despite the fact that I came from an accounting background, sales has always been in me ever since university days, as I do tell people. I will tell you that I find interest in even buying and selling than doing my calculation. Because what is the essence of me calculating millions for my boss and without having the million?
That's the mindset,
You
okay?
get me? So, but the good thing about it is that it gave me a lot of exposure and it made me believe in myself as well. That if they can do it, I see no reason why I shouldn't be able to do it too from my own end. So, coming down to your question, that what led to OJB Declutter, it is passion for me. Seeing people buying, seeing people selling, and I saw the platform as well, knowing fully that I can do it on Instagram because it is what we've been doing on GG, on OLX. I tapped into the opportunity. I was also at my place of work when my colleague, I don't want to mention his name, brought the idea. He saw someone running similar business online and he was like, OJB, come and see this thing. Then I had to sit down to study the business, as I do tell people. I studied the business. It took me less than 48 hours to study the business. And I told him that, you know what, this business that this person is doing, I would also do the same business and I would do it better. I'm not saying
Wow,
better right
I like that.
But you can't mention the clutter without mentioning OJB Declutter.
Oh, definitely.
Do you get me?
Right.
So
Okay.
it was easier for me to penetrate into the market. I didn't have to read any book. I didn't have to study anything because it has been part of me. So I invested my time. I invested my energy into this. I studied it, as I mentioned to you, and luckily for me, I spoke with my wife. I spoke to my wife about it. That, babe, you know what? This is what I want to do at the end of the day, and there's possibility of me leaving 9 to 5. Thank God for the type of wife that I have. If it was someone else, you would be like, how will you leave a corporate world for a declutter business? Who does that? Let me ask you, if I should come to, I'm not talking about now.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's throw back to 3 years ago. Say it the way it
Okay,
is.
let me be very sincere with you. The first time you mentioned the fact that you were going to be doing declutter, because I asked you about the logo.
Yeah.
Nobody will design a logo without knowing what you are designing.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be the brand story. In my mind, I'm like, this Okrika business
God bless
mindset.
you. God bless
I mean,
you.
Usman and this Wahala. Well, let him, because this guy has actually bought fairly used cars in the past, refurbished and sold. That was before
Yeah.
the OJB Declutter thing. So when you called, I didn't believe in it, to be sincere, until I started seeing you. I came to your house.
Yeah.
One generally like that. That's
I know.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I saw you busy from the minute I entered to the last time I
I
left.
think then I had no staff.
You had no, it was just you,
It was
you.
just
You had
me.
about 50 something, no, about 40 something thousand followers
Followers,
on
God
Instagram
bless
back then. I'm
you.
like, my
God bless
God,
you.
just on this. And I asked you some questions back then that I wouldn't want to ask you right now because it's about your financials, and you were honest enough to tell me about them. Like, really, what I thought could not really happen is happening. But my question is this: yes, it's fine that you've been doing sales, but I would have expected that you would go into selling something more elite in nature, as against buying fairly used items and selling and so on and so forth. But there's this saying that back then in 2020, because that was around the time you started the declutter business, right?
Yeah, 2020.
Back then, we had just left COVID lockdown, and a lot of Nigerians were actually leaving the country in numbers. People keep saying that the mass exodus of Nigerians from the country helped the declutter business. How true is this, or is this just one of those myths?
No, it is not myth at all. Because immediately after COVID, some people even went broke. Gone are those days when people would leave the country without even selling their item or converting their items to sales. They leave it to their relative, friends, just come and take whatever you can take and let's move on. But we know that with the way Nigeria is, or the way Nigeria was at 2020, immediately after that COVID, it impacted negatively to majority of people. But for the smart ones, a lot of us took advantage of that. How? You have an item to sell, you want to travel out, you need money
Yes.
to buy your ticket or to do whatever you want to do, and you can't meet people for money. We created a platform for this decluttering business where you can just approach us, tell us what you have, let's see for our own self, and knowing fully that the country that we find ourselves, it's a country of opportunity for those that can capitalize on it. Why? Tell me the different segments. We have the poor, we have the rich, we have the educated, we have the uneducated, we have the average individuals, and we have those that want to live that life but they don't have the financial capacity to do that. Thinking deep about this, knowing fully that we have different calibers of people in the country, and we have a platform that can link everybody up together, which is Instagram. Thinking deep about this, we were able to capitalize on that, though it wasn't easy penetrating into the market, because if people don't trust you, you won't be able to
All right,
trust.
let me take you up on that, okay? Because whoever knows this guy knows him for his integrity. His business thrives on integrity every time. It's not a challenge. His comment section is open. You can put anything there, and I have not read a single negative comment there. If there are, please point my attention to it, and probably you'll be able to explain right now. Okay, now the question is this: what did integrity do for you exactly? How did you build the trust in the first place?
Oh, wow. So knowing OJB, you can as well speak from experience. Since the day you met me up till now, I'm very certain that if someone should tell you that Usman ran away with my money or Usman scammed me, you will beat your chest that no, it is not the Usman that I know. Even before I met you, down to my university days, I was a very popular guy in school, and people know me for who I am. Once I say this is it, it is, and once I say it is not, I will never take advantage of you just because I have the capacity to do that. My religion helped me, my background helped me, my parents helped me as well, and the environment I grew up, it's like a community where if you mess up, almost everyone in the environment would know. And as Yoruba do say, Orúkọ rere ó sàn ju wúrà àti
A
fàdákà
good
lọ.
name is better than gold or silver. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's look at Nigeria at large and young people. So people seem to have lost hope in Nigeria, but someone like you has found hope where there seems to be no hope. You found an oasis where there is a desert. Now I want you, without really sugarcoating anything, should young Nigerians still be hopeful, or you guys are just some lucky examples that happen to experience Nigeria on a very positive note?
Positive note. Looking at how the journey started for me, even if anyone had told me that I would be where I am today, 4 years, 5 years ago, I would have denied. I know that I'm an optimistic person. I know that I will make it in life, but I didn't know that it would be like
To be
this.
this fast and this robust,
So,
and this big.
yeah, my message to young individuals: don't copy what others are doing.
But you copied what others did, because People have been doing declutter before you started.
It was easier for me to say don't copy what others are doing. I am in sales right now.
Yes.
You are not in sales. Don't say because you know me. And for me to have done it before, it would be easier for you. We all have our different journeys online. Even if my business is what you have interest in or you find interesting, study it. And you'll be able to do it even way better than the way we've been able to do it. So for me to say don't copy what others are doing, the main reason why I'm saying this is that we all have that unique attributes in us. Hear what people say. It might sound funny to you. People discovered me even before I discovered myself.
Wow.
You get it? I was focusing on accounting.
I knew you were trying to do your AC or ICANN or whatever.
Which is fine.
Yes.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
But I noticed that even the environment that I was then, people come to me, I want to sell this. People come to me, I want to sell this. Even without me advertising anything or telling them myself.
You seem to naturally attract sales to yourself.
But I didn't discover this myself because I was focused on my accounting. I was focused on, I just want to be calculating money, I want to be calculating. But at the end of the day, people saw this in me. They brought it to me and I was able to discover myself. And here I am today, happy doing what I love doing.
So in one sentence, is there hope for young Nigerians? We're talking about T-Pains, whatever.
There's nothing like T-Pain. From T-Pain, a lot of us made it after COVID. Majority of us made it after COVID. So there's nothing like T-Pain or no T-Pain. If you believe in yourself, if you're loyal and consistent at the long run, you'll surely get there. My advice is don't give up in whatever you're doing.
There is hope.
Provided there's prospect in it.
All right, so now let's talk about the declutter business itself. Yes, there are so many people reading your stories online and they want to start and they think, okay, if Usman could do it, I also could do it. They went into it, they're not getting enough people to list their products on their platforms, or people are saying, no, you are a scam. How easy or how difficult is it breaking into the business today?
It's now difficult. It wasn't this difficult before. Because when we started, the scam rate was very, very minimal. But right now, I can tell you that 90 out of 100 declutter pages, I might be wrong. But from my analysis, let's say about 80 to 85% of those in the business are scammers. Why? Because people pay in advance even before seeing what they paid for. And a lot of Nigerians, they noticed the loophole and they were able to fraud people using this medium. That is the reason why we are excelling, because we've been in the business for a very long time, and at the same time we get referrals a lot, people that have used our platform, people that we've been able to satisfy. They do tell friends and family, if you want to buy, if you want to sell, why don't you go to OJB Declutter? I've used them before, I trust them. We've been able to lay that foundation for our own self, and it is really working for us. But right now, entering into the market, I won't lie to you,
It's difficult.
it is very, very difficult. For you to excel, have the mindset that you are not coming in for the money.
Okay.
You want to build your brand name and you want your own brand to speak for itself. How will you do this? Be consistent, as I mentioned. Satisfy people. If transaction doesn't work out, refund easily. Even the process of you refunding people their money, if transaction doesn't go well, we build trust in them.
I get it.
Because they know that, no, I've patronized him before, do this, and the transaction wasn't successful. With this, he refunded me my money in full. So that is it.
Okay. All right. So let me just ask you this: is there some kind of regulation in the business? I know that maybe there is a particular body that checks and validates all declutters. I wouldn't know, is it a legally registered body or is just an attempt by some of you to really frustrate out the dubious participants in the business? Is there some kind of regulation?
Looking at the nature of the business, it's an online business where more than 99.9% of those in the business have no physical presence. It works with trust. And with the way customers are complaining about being scammed, some of us came together. We all came together to form an association called Legit. Declutter.
Okay.
So the Legit Declutter stands as a platform where new customers can come and ask about declutter pages before patronizing them.
Okay.
Legit Declutter is registered on the CAC. We just registered it like a month ago,
Okay.
and we're working to validate it and put it in the face of the public.
Okay.
Some of us are the members, some of us are directors
Okay.
of the Legit Declutter.
Okay.
But the platform is there to checkmate Declutter and to also validate pages before patronizing.
All right. So you heard it all. That's the man and his story. OJB Declutter. If there is anything I took out of this, it's that you shouldn't lose hope. Tipping or not, there's still tea gain after tipping.
Yeah.
It's about perspective. What you are seeing in the country as a case of hopelessness, some are saying that it is still a loophole for you to explore and make your own living, make your own earning. This is one guy that used to drive Uber in Lagos. At the same time, sorry, I'm not shading him. We are talking about this now in good light. He was having a 9 to 5 job, then 5 to 9 he will ride Uber, and sometimes getting home as late as 12 a.m., sometimes much later than that, and he will still have to come back.
I've slept outside before during my days of Uber, just hustling. Most Uber driver understands this. Sometimes you take people to far places, you won't even be able to drive back home
Because it's too late.
because it's too late. It's very risky. And sometimes during the festive period, it's an avenue for us to also cash out. I've left my house for as early as 3 o'clock a.m. because I want to pick people that went for concerts. It is for you to see the hustling spirit.
Honestly speaking.
And here we are today, having more than 13 staff working under the brand.
So when I call him a CEO, he says it's not more than 13 staff, and they did their 3 years anniversary.
Yeah,
Some months ago, like 2 months ago, about
November.
November. All right. Thank you very much for being part of the show. I hope you are inspired there. Yeah, you may not be able to replicate sales, although he is not saying don't come into sales, but just know that you're not coming for the money immediately. Ultimately, if you keep going, keep pushing, and do the right thing, money will come. But money has to be just one part of the goal. There should be something larger than money that you're chasing. I believe in Nigeria, so does he. And if you keep doing what you are doing right, at some point we will celebrate you. I'll see you some other time. Thank you.